the Metro Manila lockdown can now be downgraded by July 15. But with the country's caseload already at more than 57,000 and with majority of cases from NCR and Cebu, any quarantine relaxation may just be unlikely. Should Metro Manila be retained under GCQ? Likewise, should Cebu remain under enhanced quarantine? We discuss in this episode of the Chiefs. Welcome to this special episode of the Chiefs, and of course with us tonight are Ana Marie Pamintuan of the Philippine Star and Robbie Lampay of News 5. One News, he's now there at the News 5 newsroom. Hi, and happy Monday.
Good evening, happy Monday.
Monday.
What's your big story for today? It's a Monday.
Yun na nga, yung mga sinabi mo na our critical care capacity is approaching the danger zone. Yan ang sabi
At may tatlo tayong bagong yung tatlo tayong bagong appointees.
May tatlo tayong bagong
Ang daming SAR.
Oh.
Dapat
we're looking at
response.
We're looking at Villar, Magalong, and of course Yusek Vega of UH. But we'll talk about more of that later, because later we will have somebody from the National Task Force on COVID-19 who can talk to us more about what this means, and I suppose we can also ask him why this late.
Well, kahapon, di ba? Kahapon, there was a lot of apprehension, at the very least questions. Very delayed yung labas ng numbers kahapon, but I don't know. I mean, they're also saying that there was just some adjustments in the system, in the in the count, and eventually nailabas din naman.
But our first guest for tonight will talk about something a little bit different. Well, actually, a lot different. It's something related to what happened on Friday. Well, you guys had a long discussion on Friday, so I'm afraid I wasn't there. But of course, that was about the ABS-CBN franchise non-renewal.
Sige, pasok na natin siya.
Ay, pwede na. O sige. We'll bring in, for our first guest for tonight will be Professor Mahar Mangahas. He is, of course, the president of the opinion survey firm Social Weather Stations, or SWS. Sir, good evening po, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Hi, Robbie.
Good evening po.
Hi, sir. Sir, of course, SWS conducted a survey just before the committee went into a vote on ABS-CBN. Now, just to do a quick recap before we get to the meat of the discussion, 76% more or less agreed in varying degrees. Merong strongly, merong somewhat agree that Congress should renew the franchise. And then 13 disagreed to varying degrees. So that was a 62% net thereabouts. Sir, if I may just ask you first, siyempre importante po sa mga tao, what was the question, how was the question worded, and what was the question asked, and what the findings were?
Well, the question is stated right there in our report. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't have it in my head, but it's simply, what do you think about not renewing the franchise of ABS-CBN? Are you in favor or against? And this is very clearly in favor. There's nothing special about the wording.
Yes, sir. Well, sir, I ask about the wording of the question because some people who are not that familiar with with surveys and how surveys are done may ask why in particular was the question worded in this way. Congress should renew the franchise so that it can broadcast its programs again.
Yeah, that's an agree-disagree type of statement.
Yes, sir.
So they could agree strongly, they could agree somewhat, they could stand on the fence. Now I'm not sure. They could disagree, and they could strongly disagree. So they have 5 choices. That's a balanced choice.
Okay.
That's normal.
May mga nagtatanong din about the timing of the survey. Sabi nila mas maganda daw siguro kung medyo maaga sanang nakuha yon dahil sa resulta.
We cannot.
Did you think about taking it earlier? Did you consider taking that kind of survey earlier?
We it's a general survey, and it's not particularly for regarding ABS-CBN, but that's one of the big issues. So we thought of that particular issue because that's our own question. That's nobody's question. What the survey is really for is for tomorrow, because tomorrow there's going to be a conference sponsored by Strat-based Albert Del Rosario Institute. And that's what we were really timing it for, to have new results for tomorrow having to do with China. Now, in fact, we were thinking that ABS-CBN might not be an issue yet, but na-rush sa Congress, so we said we cannot, hold this anymore. So itong naging first release natin.
Sir, ako may question before we get deeper and himayin natin yung results. I do have a question about the methodology as well and gathering the data. I imagine in the time of COVID, it's much harder to do field work. It's much harder to personally get enough.
Yep.
What was the methodology here? What was the adjustment, and does that affect the margin of error?
That's in our technical report, okay, which is in the website, and this is the second time we've done it. So the first technical report is already there. It was for last May, and I'm sorry if you didn't read it, the first technical report, but it's the same methodology, right? So it's been there already for 2 months, the first methodology. So what this is, it's a probability survey based on phone numbers that we collected from 2017 to 2019 from our ordinary probability surveys. We went out there and surveyed all these people face to face, but at the same time we asked their permission to call them again later. You see, if they would be willing to do that. And in the course of that, we were able to collect 30,000 phone numbers of people who agreed that they would be willing to be surveyed again. But they were originally chosen by probability. So that's why we're very confident that this is a good sample of the country. And as we called them, we kept on monitoring where the responses were coming from, and they are a very balanced geographical sample, and that sample, geography, is also in our technical report. It's already there for technical report number 1 for our May survey, and it's there again for the July survey. They're not exactly the same because everything is voluntary, all right? So. But the sample size is decent, 1,500. Our normal is 1,200. So we feel confident about this. Actually, we challenge anybody to do their own probability-based surveys.
Okay, okay. Given all of that, let's get into the insights that we can get from the survey. As we've already reported, 3 out of 4 Filipinos said they believe that Congress should have renewed the franchise of ABS-CBN.
When we asked the question, July 3 to 6, nobody knew yet what Congress would do. So this is the proposition. Huh? Okay.
Okay. What was there? There was, of course, another question as to whether or not they appreciated this as a press freedom issue as well. A majority of people said yes to it as well. But what other sentiments other than press freedom were the public basis for saying that ABS-CBN franchise?
Roby, you know about polling. Huh? You have to imagine what are people's sentiments. If you want me to say what exactly they were, I'd have to have a separate question for every single sentiment. So your guess is as good as mine, probably just better. All right, because you cannot ask me exactly what were they. We know what's happening, so you can imagine what they were. And we don't have, a lot of time to ask questions. In fact, now that we have to do it by mobile phone, every question is precious. There are
Yes.
very few questions now, so you'll have to do your own interpretation. And all I'm willing to interpret is what is the exact question that we asked and what we found out of it. And of course, we also put out the demographics, so you can see what it's like Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, Metro Manila. We also put it out as to what it's like for men and women, I believe, and by age and by education. So one can draw conclusions by the demographics of the findings. But it's very much across the board. There's nothing special about the locations. The feeling is national. Everywhere. Like maybe a little more here, a little less there, but it's national. Okay, it's also for all the groups. I think it's a little stronger for the lower educated, but it's not weak for the higher educated. I think it's a little stronger, but you just check me, because it's written there. I think it's a little higher for women. Ayun. I think it's the same regardless of age. So these are the things we can figure out, and they are all there. We have tables for all of that to help people in analyzing the data.
Is polling during the quarantine harder, or do you prefer
It's harder.
face-to-face?
It's harder, yes, because we would prefer actually to go into the field and do it face to face.
Huh?
Now, where there are two issues there, one is that government insists on locking down people and making it hard to move.
Yes.
But even worse is preventing jeepneys and tricycles from going out. Because this is how we find people, wherever they are. We don't have, vehicles to bring people around, to bring our interviewers around. They use public transport.
You've been polling the popularity and approval ratings of presidents for a long time. Do you think the pandemic and the government responses will impact on your next survey on the president?
I will not speculate. Okay, we don't do that. We won't do that.
Okay.
Sir, you've been doing this for more than 3 decades already. SWS.
We're almost 35 years old.
Yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir. Sir, I'd like to ask you lang to explain to us in greater detail yung methodology. If you remember, I asked you the question again about how the questions are formulated. Of course, there is a system in certain taking surveys where when you formulate the questions, you have to do it very carefully. Pero kasi at this age where people are very used to using the word biased, people might, and I say might, people might misconstrue the wording of the question to have a particular bias. Kasi one question po is, siyempre, is yung Congress should renew the franchise so that it can broadcast its programs again. The other is ang hindi pag-renew ng Congress ng pangkisa ng ABS-CBN ay isang malaking tagok sa kalayaan ng pamamahayag. Tell us po how the methodology, how questions are formulated in surveys.
Well, what's most important is that you have a balanced choice of answers. They're not more favorable or more unfavorable. That's why they should be symmetric. Symmetric. We also like a middle ground so that people can, they're not sure. They're not forced to be on one side or the other side. So if we can, we have, like, these are 5-point scales, for example, 2 favorable, 2 unfavorable, and 1 in the middle.
And 1 undecided.
You have to have, of course, you have to choose a position as to whether it's going to be affirmative or negative.
Yes, sir.
You have to choose one. If you're going to be worried about that, then you'll have to do an experiment yet, and try it affirmative one way and negative the other way, and mix it up together. That's too complicated, I would say, but there's a way of doing that. But the best way to check for bias is to look at the question yourself and see, is that fair or not fair? And if you say it is not fair, well, you explain why that is. But the best thing of all is to go and do your own poll. This is what we, favor. We favor competition. We favor everybody going out there and doing it yourself. But the important thing here is don't choose. Don't let the people come to you. You choose who they should be at random. You can't say that. Oh, everybody called me and give me your answers. That's then you're going to have the bias of the people answering you.
Sir, you are presenting a survey on. I want to just digress a bit. You are presenting a survey on perceptions on China tomorrow. Maybe you can give us a preview. Is that possible?
Well, that's unfair to the sponsor because it's for release tomorrow. We have a release which will come out tomorrow, simultaneous with our presentation at the conference.
Okay, sir, all industries have been affected by the pandemic. Has it affected the polling business as a business?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, because our normal sponsors, they apparently didn't know what to do.
Yes.
Like that. In fact, we decided we just pay for the first round on our own, completely SWS paid. The second one is I think 80% SWS paid, just to get something out there.
Okay. But sir, quick question lang doon sa strat base. We understand you can't share the results, but as you said, we understand that. But as you said, we do play a role, of course, in understanding the context. You mentioned that the question about ABS-CBN was in fact basically just a rider on the larger survey about China. The period was the same. The period for the survey was exactly the same.
Yes. These are together. July 3 to 6.
Okay.
July 3 to 6. Okay. Now 4 days in the field, a few days necessary for data processing. We only knew the ABS-CBN results maybe a couple of hours before the House went to do their vote. It wasn't even written up, just numbers. We just tried to rush it up and report it as soon as possible because, ma-overtake na.
Have you had to cut down on the number of people taking your survey? Everyone is downsizing these days.
In order to do the kind of sample we want, no, we have to still hire the proper number of people. This last one we had 115 interviewers. But these are contractual, of course. They're not regulars.
But sir, as you said, one important context doon sa ABS-CBN survey was this was asked before the decision came out. Is there going to be a follow-up survey to that? Ngayong tapos na yung decision.
What do you think? What do you think?
No, but I ask as well. Of course, I'm looking forward to it. But
we are not in the business, right? We are not in the business of jumping on issues as soon as they happen, all right? We would like to do surveys regularly. Our normal is to do it every 3 months if we can, all right? So maybe if we have the resources to do it again next time, maybe we'll come back and return to it. But we have to be very careful because the scope is only 1/3 now what it used to be. We've only about 20 minutes to ask questions, whereas before we used to have about 60 to 90 minutes to ask questions. People get tired easily over the telephone, so it's very precious now, and therefore this is not something we could do easily. But if you have sponsors, go ahead. Sponsor it, and don't sponsor it to us, okay? Sponsor it to whoever you like. There are many research companies which can do it. I'm really blaming the people who have the resources to sponsor but don't sponsor. In fact, media are the main sponsor abroad. But here, why not? Very, very seldom. And yet their media are owned by, Taipans. Why don't they invest? We think we're doing our part already, but others should come in and not to pay us, okay? Use your own regular research company. Why not? Huh? Use your own research company. And let's compare, all right? You've got your own agenda, kami, itong mga little things, iniisip namin kung ano kaya ang dapat natin tingnan, no? Now, the ABS-CBN issue is for us, SWS, an important issue because we are essentially a pro-democracy organization, right? We're for freedom of speech and expression. So that's an internally important issue for us as an institution.
Can we expect more surveys from you about related to the pandemic context?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Yes.
If you want more, then
Yes.
help us have more resources, right?
Mhm.
But I'm not saying give us money,
Well, speaking of
You're more in
money,
a hurry, then you do go to somebody else. I'm sure they can do it.
okay, speaking of money, can you give us a ballpark figure?
No. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. I have talked
Just to get
with so many. They'll always say, ay, ganun pala. And then yung pala, they're not interested. Akala, they don't understand. Malaking investment ito.
Yes, we know that it's a big investment.
Yes,
Kaya nga,
malaking investment.
ah,
We have spent,
yes,
for this last couple of rounds, we have spent 7
it's about
digits.
7 figures. That's safe na lang.
Yes,
7
yes.
figures, right? Per survey.
Ah,
That's safe.
yes. A
Yung funding is about
survey
7
costs
figures.
more than 1 million.
Yes.
Then it depends on the size. 1, 2,
Yes.
it's very big. Like that. That's what we're talking about. Right?
Okay.
So of course you try to put a lot of subject matter, all right? And one question, and then it's divided up, That's how it becomes affordable.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
you don't do a survey just for 2 or 3 questions. Then you're spending $500,000 per question. That's really very unaffordable. That's why you got to do it as a group. As a whole batch, many items, many interested parties, and so forth. Actually,
In a way,
our
para siyang economies of scale.
yeah, actually, our regular surveys, they are not even break even.
Ah,
They are deficit items, but the way we pay for them is from our other surveys, which are really commission contracted, much bigger. But those have vanished for the moment because nobody knows what's going on. Right? If they come back again, the surveys that are used for project evaluation like that, then that's where we really support ourselves. But the project evaluation surveys have kind of died down. See?
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sir, one last question, sir. Still in relation to the pandemic and how it affects the way you do surveys. Hindi lang SWS, pati Pulse Asia has had difficulty during the pandemic. So we medyo na miss yung usual calendar for releasing the performance ratings of the president, for example, or the government.
Wala na yun.
When do you expect po another round?
Wala na yun until there are sponsors. Iba na. New normal na.
Mhm.
Ayun ang new
New
normal.
normal na. You want data, you've got to get into the act of helping to bring it about. We cannot do it for fun anymore. because it's too expensive.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, maraming salamat po. Professor Mahar Mangahas, the President
Salamat
of
po.
SWS. Sir, thank you po for joining us tonight.
Thank
Okay.
you.
We will just pause for a break, so please stay with us.
Welcome back to the Chiefs, and we are now in the final stage of our conversation for this episode. And joining us is Restituto Padilla, spokesperson for the National Task Force Against COVID-19. Good evening po, General.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Yes, okay. We're with Robbie Alampay and Ed Lingao, of course.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, sir.
Yes. Sir, ang balita ngayon, the Department of Health said we are approaching the danger zone. The hospitals are reaching critical capacity, the danger zone. Tapos sabi ng IATF, baka daw hindi tayo pwedeng mag-ease into an MGCQ. We are expecting an announcement from the President by Wednesday. Ano po bang status natin? How do we stand at the start of the week?
First of all, ma'am, it's true. We have cases coming up, and that's kind of expected kasi madami na po tayong capacity na mag-test. So sa patuloy na pag-test natin, madami nakikitang positive. Excuse me. At yung sa positive na yon, marami dyan na gustong magpa-confine para malayo sa kanilang mga pamilya at ma-isolate sila. So, yun po ang nagiging sitwasyon natin ngayon. Yung nangyayari sa Cebu noong nakaraang mga linggo, nangyayari na rin po dito sa Maynila. Kaya nga po patuloy ang ating pakiusap na gawin po natin yung nire-request ng ating health authorities and the WHO to practice the minimum health standards, which is to wear your mask if you need to come out because you need to come to work. Wash your hands frequently, magugas po ng kamay lagi, palagian o mag-alcohol kung may hinahawakan na ibang bagay. At wag pong hahawakan ng muka at bibig at mata. At patuloy pong mag-practice ng tinatawag na physical or social distancing. O hindi masyadong malapit sa mga kalubilon yung tao. At wag pong pupunta sa madaming mga tao. Kasi doon po bumibilis ang pagkalat ng sakit. So, this is borne by the testing capacity, as I mentioned. As we increase our testing capacity in our desire to locate where the COVID-19 cases are, dadami yun po yung mga gustong magpa-confine at ma-isolate. Pero yung ating pong facility for confinement, meron na po tayong mga tinayo noon pa na tinatawag na ligtas center. Ito po yung mga isolation facility. At yan po ay para sa mga mild at saka asymptomatic, yung mga walang nararamdaman. Pero sa kasalukuyan, yung mga iba't ibang kaso po kasi ay naiipon sa ospital. Kaya ang ginagawa po ng ating health authorities ng DOH ay patuloy na inaayos po ito para nang sa ganon, yung mga mild at asymptomatic ay mailagay lang po sa isolation. Hindi na po sa bahay, no? Hindi na po nare-recommenda sa bahay ang home quarantine, no? Sa isolation facility na po. Kasi may mga datos po na sinasabi galing sa WHO at saka sa ibang mga scientifico na mas contagious na daw yung COVID-19 cases na lumalabas ngayon. Kaya para maiwasan po yung pagpasa nito, mas maganda po na nasa isolation facility sila. Yung mild and symptomatic, yun yung dapat na andon. At yung severe and critical, ireserba po natin sila sa mga ospital, yung sa mga primary care facilities at dun sa mga inilat na mga quota na mga bed capacities para po sa ospital kung saan may mga gamit para matugunan yung pangangailangan ng mga merong severe at saka critical cases. So pagka nagawa na po ito, patuloy, ang atin pong mga ospital hopefully ay may decongest na natin dahil ililipat po natin yung mild and symptomatic sa mga isolation facilities lang.
Okay, General, I mean, it's good that you mentioned that, no? Yung decongesting from hospitals papunta sa mga isolation center. Paki-explain lang po so that people can make a distinction. No? Kasi we started talking about capacity of hospital. Right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hi, sir.
Sir,
Sir,
kami sir, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Pero si Roy hindi ko marinig.
Si Robbie hindi marinig.
Si Robin hindi ko marinig.
Pinapa-distinguish niya yung I think he wants you to distinguish between the isolation facilities and the critical care. Kasi yun yung we are running out of the critical care facilities, yung ICU, yung beds. So, gusto lang
Opo.
yung malinawan ng mga tao, yung pagkakaiba.
Yes, okay. Yun pong mga ospital, nag-aalat po sila usually ng 30% ng bed capacity nila, no? Para sa
That's the critical
COVID-19
care, no?
cases.
Critical
Yes.
care.
Tapos, yes, COVID-19 bed capacity po yon sa mga ospital. So each hospital that is not primarily a referral hospital for COVID cases, they must maintain about 30% of their bed capacity for COVID-19 cases. At these are requested to be for the severe and critical. Ito po yung mga nangangailangan ng round-the-clock na pagbabantay, monitor, at yung sa critical is kailangan na po silang ma-ventilator or iba pang kagamitan tulad ng yung positive pressure cannula kung hindi ako nagkakamali, no? So this is another treatment protocol na kung saan napepuwersa pumasok ang oxygen sa katawan ng tao para mas mapadali yung kanyang paghinga. So dahil ito po ay respiratory case, kaya yun po ang isa sa mga magandang nakita na protocol na dapat gawin. So ginagawa na po yan at nag-aangkat na rin po tayo ng karagdagang ganung klaseng kagamitan ayon kay Secretary Galvez upang malagyan po lahat ng mga hospital na nangangailangan
Yes, sir.
nun para dumami pa yung recoveries
Yes, sir.
natin.
Sir,
Ang
para
maganda
lang
naman
klaro
po
po.
ngayon is may mga recoveries dumadagdag patuloy.
Yes, sir. Sir, para lang klaro po, yung napupuno ngayon sa Makati Med tsaka doon sa dalawang
I can't
St.
hear you.
Luke's. You can't hear me either.
Ako pa naririnig niyo na po ako.
Yeah, okay na. I can hear you now.
Okay, ikaw naman umalis.
Kanina
Ikaw
wala.
umalis. Ako naman I think it's still the same question. But I think on the one hand, I think we're trying to find the distinction in a way to reassure ourselves also. When we talk about yung capacity ng mga ospital, particularly sa critical care, basically the message is dun po sa isolation centers, malaki pa ang capacity natin sa isolation. Because this sort of sharpens,
Yes.
it sort of sharpens a dilemma, di ba? Kasi nung early days, sinabi natin, stay home muna kayo para hindi na overwhelm yung facilities natin. Pero ngayon, the recommendation is, hindi, huwag ka mag-stay home kasi medyo mas mahirap dyan. Dito tayo sa isolation center. So isolation center po, gumigit na ito, no, sa bahay at sa critical care ng hospital. What we're saying is, even as we monitor the capacity running out and hitting its limits in critical units in the hospitals, yung isolation centers, okay pa po ang capacity natin.
I-distinguish natin, Robin, no? Yung request to stay home, nananatili pa rin yan. Kung hindi kayo kinakailangang lumabas, yes, stay home. Particularly kung meron kayong comorbidity, so may iniinda ng mga sakit. At yung mga bata na tinatawag ng ating mga doktor na spreaders. Kasi wala silang nararamdaman, maaaring sila yung nagpapasa. So, yung stay home na yan ay nandyan pa rin, nananatili pa rin yan. Pero yung sa patuloy na pagbuhay natin sa ekonomiya natin, kasi yung delicate balance natin sa public health saka sa economy, kinakailangan magtuloy yan. So yung panawagan nga natin sa lahat ng ating mga business establishments na gawin nilang parte ng kanilang business plan, ng kanilang business continuity in relation to COVID-19, na wag sanang dadami sa place of work kasi magkakaroon ng work disruption, and ayaw natin magkaroon ng anumang klaseng work disruption. Kaya iba yung pag-iingat ang ating nire-request sa employers at saka sa mga employees, and to treat ourselves as carriers. Tayo na po ang frontliner ngayon, hindi na po ang mga doktor. Ang mga doktor po natin, last line of defense na po sila, kaya dapat hindi tayo makarating sa kanila. Kailangan pangalagaan natin yung kalusugan natin at bantayan natin na hindi tayo makakuha ng sakit. Ngayon, kung sakasakali po nadapuan tayo ng COVID-19, kung wala naman tayong nararamdaman, wala naman tayong iniinda at konting sakit lang, yun po yung mild at saka tinatawag na asymptomatic, walang nararamdaman. Yan po yung mga kaso na pag nalaman dahil sa testing, maaring magkalat kayo, kaya kinakailangan ilagay kayo sa tinatawag na isolation facilities. At yan po, meron pa po tayo, may natitira pa po tayo, marami pa po tayo yung bakante dyan, na gagamitin natin. Meron po sa lokal na pamahalaan, meron po sa ibang mga, sa kanya-kanyang regions, meron po sa mga municipal level. May kanya-kanya pong isolation facilities. At patuloy tayo na nagtatayo sa tulong ng pribadong sektor, sa tulong ng mga NGOs tulad ng Red Cross at iba pa pong mga partners natin sa
Pero sir,
government. So
lilinawin ko
tuloy-tuloy
lang
ito.
Excuse me,
Pero sir, lilinawin ko lang po.
wait, excuse. Break lang po tayo. Sorry po Mag-break lang po tayo sandali.
Okay.
Don't go
Okay.
away, we'll be
Sige
back.
po.
Welcome back to the Chiefs here in the final stage of our conversation for this episode. We are still with Restituto Padilla, spokesperson of the National Task Force against COVID-19. General, ulitin ko lang po yung tanong. Kasi medyo nalito talaga ako. Even nung nakita ko sa social media at sa balita, I was wondering if this was a typo. Pero paalam po kanina, there is something that changed. Yung mild na cases. Before kasi, yung unang is so as not to overburden our facilities, kung mild, then stay home muna. But now we are saying na hindi. Parang based on the latest findings, the recommendation is in fact na kahit mild, ay mas mabuti na mag-isolation. Not the hospitals yet. Wag muna kayong pupunta sa hospital. Halaga pa rin yun to preserve that for the serious cases. But mild, yun po ang recommendation has actually changed. And not to self-isolate at home, but instead go to isolation center.
Opo. That's right, no? That's right. First, linawin ko lang, ang maggagawa ng determinasyon kung kayo'y mild or symptomatic after na nag-positive kayo sa test. Ito po yung precursor dyan is na-test kayo ng PCR test. So
Okay.
nalaman na kayo may dinadala at yung doktor na dapat magbigay sa inyo at magsabi sa inyo ng diagnosis na yon, siya ho ang magsasabi at magbibilin sa inyo kung mild or asymptomatic kayo at kinakailangan kayong i-refer sa isang tinatawag na isolation facilities. So sa pamamagitan nito, madidecongest natin itong mga critical care facilities at ia-allot natin ito dun sa mga grabing kaso. So karamihan po kasi ng matataas ang immunity level kung sakaling tamaan sila, mild asymptomatic lang po sila. So hindi sila nakakaramdam ng anumang symptoms. So pag mild naman may konti, sipon, pananakit ng or mangangati ng lalamunan, etc. no? But the doctors who will see you are the ones who will make that determination. Kaya hindi po kayo mismo. Ang atin pong panawagan na wag na po sa bahay kasi nagkakaroon po ng transmission maski na sa bahay dahil hindi po alam sundin yung striktong tinatawag na home quarantine. Kaya pag hindi po nasunod yon, yung pagkakataon na maipasa nyo sa mahal nyo sa buhay o kasama nyo sa bahay ay tumataas. At iniiwasan po natin yan para ma-maintain na natin yung tinatawag nating delicate balancing act between moving the economy forward and public health, which is very important. Kasi ayaw po nating dumagdag pa sa tinatawag na case fatality rate o mga namamatay.
Yung 30% bed quota, General, merong proposal na itaas yun to 50. Matutuloy kaya yun?
Hindi pa po natin alam, no. This is something that our health authorities led by DOH is discussing continuously with our hospitals. So either both private and public. So pinag-uusapan kasi hindi po natin kailangang kalimutan yung mga iba pang mga kaso na kailangan tingnan ng ating mga doktor dahil tandaan po natin, tag-ulan na po ngayon. May mga iba pong sakit na dadagdag na dito. So kinakailangan matugunan din po ng ating mga doktor ito. And that is why we keep on saying na it is important o mahalaga po na pangalagaan natin ang ating kalusugan. Kasi tayo na nga po ang sinasabi nating frontliners at ang ating mga doktor at medical professionals ang last line of defense.
Sir, kamusta yung ibang hotspots, yung ibang emerging hotspots at least, for example, Cebu, Iloilo, and so on down the line. Are they getting better or ganun pa rin? Mukha bang mag-extend pa ng ECQ?
Yes, mananatili pa rin siguro ang Cebu, no, for now. Hindi ko lang po alam yung final decision. Ayoko naman kung pangunahan. Pero maganda rin po, nag-i-improve naman. Ang case fatality rate nila ay hindi kasing taas ng national average, mas mababa. Yung bed capacities nila paunti-unti nang hindi na naka-approach sa maximum limit. So dumadami rin ng recoveries, yun ang maganda dyan. Yung kanilang reported deaths ay yun nga, mababa kaysa sa national average. So of the time na nagsimula tayo, which is almost critical na lahat, ngayon nag-i-improve patuloy. So basta lang po susunod ng lahat ng ating mga kababayan kasi yun nga po sinasabi natin na yung delicate balancing act na sinasabi natin, yung pagbalanse ng public health, ng kalusugan ng karamihan at ng ekonomiya natin ang ating binabantayan. And wala na po tayo, we cannot afford not to let our economy reboot because kung wala po tayong ekonomiyang magsusuporta sa lahat ng ating ginagawang ayuda, wala po tayong maibibigay sa mas nangangailangan.
Sir, yung NCR, sir, anong itsura ng NCR? I know ayon yung pangunahan, yung magiging decision ng Pangulo, pero as far as the numbers look, does it look promising na ma-MGCQ tayo o ang extension ulit?
It seems like kasi madami pang hotspot na binabantayan. Katulad nitong araw na to, nag-anunsyo si Navotas sa Mayor Toby, no? Sinabi niya na mag-city-wide lockdown sila dahil nasa pagtaas. So we see some of this in many areas of Metro Manila. And imbis na i-lockdown natin ang kabuuan ng Luzon, ang kabuuan ng NCR, maglo-localize po tayo. Kaya nga po we brought down the fight to the level of our tactical troops. And the tactical troops are actually our mayors, our barangays, our municipalities.
Yes,
Sila
but General,
kayo na po sa inyong subdivision.
But General, yung mga targeted lockdown, people, I think, were starting to have this idea na baka barangay or maybe even the level of a street or a subdivision. And then the first one of the first targeted lockdowns we hear about is citywide. Again, is Navotas in this case an outlier or itong pinagdadaanan nila is it actually an indication or a warning that that it have been a mistake to open up too soon?
Well, it's really a delicate balancing act as I mentioned earlier. And the case sa Navotas, no, pwede pong maging outlier yan, pwede maging ehemplo. Pero ang punto po dito, gusto po nating magpatuloy ang pagbubukas ng ating pag-i-ease ng ating quarantine requirements at yung pag-relax sa ating movement restrictions, no. At wala namang may gusto na maipit ng tuloy-tuloy at wala namang may gusto na hindi uusad yung ating ekonomiya. Kaya kooperasyon po ng bawat mamamayan sa bawat lugar ang kinakailangan. Kaya nga po hintong laban na to, tunay na bayanihan ang kinakailangan. Kailangan may kontribusyon, may ambag ang bawat mamamayan para nang sa ganon yung ating minimithi na maipababa yung kaso ng sakit at magkaroon ng patuloy na lusong ng ating ekonomiya o improve ng ating economy ay makukuha natin. Kung hindi po makikipag-cooperate at hindi po makikipag-ugnayan ang bawat mamamayan, palagi po tayong babalik at babalik sa ganitong pagkakataon.
General, we have 3 new anti-COVID SARS. Si Mark Villar, siya yung isolation SAR. Si Baguio Mayor Benjamin Magalong, siya yung contact tracing SAR.
Contact tracing.
At si
Opo.
Health Undersecretary Leopoldo Vega, yung treatment SAR. What will these 3 gentlemen bring into the equation? What can we expect from the response of the government because of this latest development?
Well, actually, they've been doing their jobs simula po nang talaga sila na tumulong. Unang-una, si Mayor Magalong, kanyang ibinigay na best practice yung contact tracing sa Baguio City. Kaya maganda po ang takbo ng Baguio City. At hindi ganun kalakas o tindi ang drain sa kanilang resources kasi maayos nilang napatutupad ito. Kasi as we begin lockdowns or quarantine in a more stricter fashion, the consequences become harsh on the economy and the lives of people. And in the case of the Baguio City kay Mayor Magalong, yung kanyang methodology sa contact tracing naging mainam. And from the very beginning, last April, ipinamamahagi na niya yung kanyang kaalaman dito sa lahat ng mga LGUs para masundan. And one of the things I think that was critical for Mayor Magalong's case is the consent of those who are affected na ilantad yung kanilang pagkatao para malaman at nang sa ganun mapabilis yung contact tracing. Pero yan po ay karapatan ng bawat may sakit kung gusto niyang ilantad o hindi. Kasi kung ayaw niya dahil natatakot siya na baka ma-discriminate siya, karapatan niya po yun. Pero sa Baguio, naging mainam po at pinakikiusapan niya. Kaya mabilis ang kanilang contact tracing. So hopefully, kung lahat makikipag tulungan, tulad ng nangyari sa Baguio, mas mapapabilis yung contact tracing. Yun po ang direksyon. Sa ano naman, sa health kay Dr. Vega, yes, na-enlist po siya direct from Davao, sanay po siya sa pagtatakbo ng mga ospital. Yan po yung strength at kaya niya pong ipaliwanag ng maayos at isagawa yung kailangang protocols sa mga level ng ospital. Kaya po siya ang itinalaga dyan. Si Secretary Villar naman, kitang-kita naman po natin simulat sa pulpanuho ng February at March, na doon na po sila sa pagsasagawa ng mga facilities para sa COVID ligtas, yung mga isolation facilities at iba pa pong mga kinailangang gawin. So by and large, hopefully, with these very dynamic personalities, mapapabilis natin yung ating pagtugon sa mga requirements po ng ating national health system.
Okay, in the meantime, sir, speaking of the economy, one of the things that has started to open up are airports. Dumadami na yung domestic and international flights. Again, we repeat, you keep saying it's a delicate balancing act. But what is crucial for you to see in the coming weeks that will make you revisit all these other things that go into travel, and not just in the city, but inter-island and even international?
Well, I think ang game changer po talaga dito, ang talaga pong maaaring magpatuloy ng pagbukas ng ekonomiya is yung kooperasyon ng bawat mamamayan na dedikadong magpapatupad ng tinatawag nating minimum health protocols. Kasi kung bawat isa po sa atin, pinapangalagaan yung kanyang kalusugan sa pamamagitan ng pagsunod dun sa lahat ng mga sinasabing dapat gawin tulad ng pagsuot ng mask, paglabas sa bahay kung kinakailangan lamang at kung pagdistansya sa lahat ng mga makakahalubilo ng at least ngayon mas maganda 2 meters na, no? Hindi lang 1 meter. So tapos pag-iingat, dobleng iba yung pag-iingat sa kalusugan, magbabago po yung takbo ng pagkalat ng sakit at pababa ito hopefully to include all the data that we're closely watching. So kung ganun ang mangyayari, the economy will continue to open, and we are hoping and praying that will happen, that everybody will cooperate. So yun, bawat mamamayan, kinakailangan po talaga isipin niya, nandala niya yung sakit at mag-iingat dapat siya pag lumalabas siya, pumupunta sa trabaho. Nang sa ganon, hindi maipapasa ito. Kung ganon po ang ating iniisip, ganon ang ating mentalidad, yung mga datos po nating binabantayan, patuloy na gaganda yan. Yan po ang sa tingin ko na magiging game changer.
General, where are we now in trying to flatten the curve?
Well, hindi pa po, no? the numbers are still continuing to rise. You see all the data being reported by our UP advisors and the DOH daily reports. So we're closely watching. We're trying to help the health system cope. And I think nandiyan naman po lahat ng ating mga measures na nakalagay na. At pag yan pong mga facilities na yan, mga kinakailangan natin ay patuloy nating matutugunan at maibibigay, yung ating pong mga pangangailangan sa kalusugan para doon po sa nagkakasakit, matutugunan natin. But until such time that we get everyone's cooperation and that the numbers for the cases will stabilize, we cannot really say that we have completely flattened the curve. And that is why nananawagan po kami sa bawat mamamayan. Itong pagbabago po ng ugali natin sa bawat paglabas natin ng bahay, importante po ito.
Okay.
Sir, pahabol na lang po. I understand the NTF has approved yung angkas backpack for those who want to ride tandem sa mga motorsiklo. Pero this is all premised on the idea na ang magka-tandem na sakay ay mag-asawa o magkalibin, which I suppose brings us back to the question na bakit pa kailangan ng harang sa pagitan ng dalawang taong magkasama sa kama.
Alam nyo, ang magaling hong magpalusot kasi ang ibang kababayan natin. Kaya iniingatan natin na hindi ho magkaroon ng pagkakataon na talagang hindi nagkakilala, inangkas na kagad. So siguro sa pamamagitan nun, may ample measures tayo na ma-prevent yung pag-transmit ng disease. No? Kaya nga, ang aking batayan, although sa DILG ito at ginagawa na nila ng kanilang angkop na mga rekomendasyon para maging maayos, ang aking guidance ay safety lang. Kung anong pinaka-safe para sa rider at saka dun sa kanyang angkas para hindi matransmit yung sakit at maayos yung kanilang biyahe na hindi sila nalalagay sa peligro, yun po ang okay. And I think meron na pong mga naging rekomendasyon sa disenyo ng anong klaseng barrier na yan na maaring maging maayos from a safety perspective.
Okay. General Resi Padilla, tagapagsalita ng National Task Force on COVID-19. Sir, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you po.
Salamat po.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Maraming salamat din po sa pagkakataong ito. Stay safe po at sundin po
Thank you,
natin ang kailangan nating sundin. Salamat po.
And that's a wrap for tonight. If you have an old satellite dish or Digibox, you can level up your viewing experience with a special box-only discounts from Signal and from Satellite. New subscribers can buy the Signal prepaid HD box for only 300 pesos or get the Satellite box for only 500 pesos. Load on your first month and get next month's load for free. Now, just bring your old non-Signal or non-Satellite Digibox to the nearest Signal dealer to enjoy these deals. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. That will be all for this special edition of the Chiefs. We hope that this discussion will keep the conversation going. I'm Edwin of One News.
I'm Ami Pamintuan of the Philippine Star.
I'm Robbie Alampay and we are One News.